What actually ends up moving the needle so we don't end up having the same conversation about this burden being disproportionately on some of these emerging economies?
So, a couple of things. One, there's a huge trust deficit, even just between the industrialized countries and developing countries, because the US and other major countries have not met their targets for aid that they promised back in the Copenhagen Climate Summit, which I've kind of blocked out of my memory because it wasn't it was kind of the most chaotic one that there has been. But what does move the needle? I think it's a combination of bank reform. And by this, I'm talking World Bank. I'm talking the way the IMF lends money to other countries. I'm talking about policies that they can put in place that would really incentivize the private sector to participate more in some of this. And obviously, the private sector isn't going to participate for nothing. They absolutely are going to be looking to make money and to figure out how to improve these money flows in the absence of mandate. And I think a lot of emphasis has been going into this and a lot of creative thinking on the part of US climate negotiators, European governments, and some others. And, there have been these partnerships now with South Africa. They're working on Vietnam, also Indonesia, where essentially industrialized countries are paying developing countries to try to decarbonize their power sector in particular. And those these deals get really complex. They encounter delays, they encounter corruption, but they're really critical if we are to meet the Paris targets. So there's, a lot of talk of we're all in this together because climate change is not a national issue, it's an international issue.